Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and today's session is very special because we are going to discuss some really difficult questions. So you'll be wondering why sir is saying that the questions will be very difficult, and it's really amazing session because we have been doing some simpler questions previously. Welcome to VerandaRace. Okay, we have been doing some easier questions previously, but now today's session is all about a difficult set of questions. So I think we should start the live chat, and I have taken my mobile in my hand so that I can discuss with you. Earlier it was not happening because of some constraints. So now I'll discuss with you all. So let's start the session. So it's English practice session, and today we are going to have a discussion on sentence improvement. Okay, sentence improvement. So you can ask your questions over here. So questions are really difficult today. So be prepared and answer with all energy and concepts. Okay, so let's start. So the question says, I hope you can see the question. More ancient South Indian temples were constructed in the reign of Cholas as in any other. So please answer your questions. More ancient South Indian temples were constructed in the reign of Cholas as in any other. So what would be your answer? Tell me. I'm waiting. Good morning, Padma Priya. So I'm waiting for your answer. So this is the highlighted part. You give me an answer and I'll discuss it. Okay, now I'll tell you the answer. If you're not answering, I'll tell you the answer. So more ancient South Indian temples were constructed in the reign of Cholas as in any other. So you can see more has been used over here. So with more, we use E. Somebody is saying, Sherin is saying E, Kanchana Devi is saying E. E is the correct answer. Very good. Sherin and Kanchana, Padma Priya is also saying E. Ritika S is also saying E. Ishwarya, Kashi, Monica, Ganeshan. Correct. So E is the answer. If anybody needs an explanation, I'll give it explanation. So more is here, so than must be here. With more we use than. So which options have than? This is one option and this is one option. So why this option? So more ancient South Indian temples were constructed in the reign of Cholas as in any other. So it should be than in any other because we are talking about in the reign of Cholas. So than in the reign of any other. That's a parallelism concept, parallelism. So when we say more ancient South Indian temples were constructed in the reign of Cholas than in the reign of any other. That's the concept actually. So this is the correct answer. So in should be here, which was as should be replaced by than. So this is the correct answer. Very good. Very good, Reshmi and Monica, Ganeshan. Everyone has given the correct answer. So let's move to the next question. Okay. Well, many writers of modern poetry have inherited strange habits that destroy the clarity of their poems. So what does the question say? Many writers of modern poetry have inherited strange habits that destroy the clarity of their poems, but these habits can be broken if they are wishing to take the onus. So please give an answer to this question. All those who are participating in the session, I need an answer. So what's the meaning of the question? Many writers of modern poetry have inherited means they have inculcated in themselves. So many writers of the modern poetry have inherited strange habits that destroy the clarity of their poems. There's a certain strange habit they have developed which destroys the clarity of their poems, but these habits can be broken if they are wishing to take the onus. So the question does not tell about what is the strange habit they have developed. So rather we should choose an answer which is in tandem with, okay, this is the underlying part you can see over here. Somebody says A, Dharani says, Padma Priya says, Kanchana Devi says, somebody says B. Okay. Anyone? Ritika says B. See, the options are very close. These are based on SBI PO kinds of question. If they ask, if these questions are asked in SBI PO, you will face problems because all the options are very close. So what would be the grammatically correct and less wordy option? Less wordy option. Somebody says D. Okay, you have left one option which is C. Somebody says C. Monica Ganeshan says C. Sherin says C. So C is the correct answer. I'll tell you why. So you see, many writers, the sentence starts about writers. It talks about writers. Many writers of modern poetry have inherited strange habits that destroy the clarity of their poems. So it talks about the writers and their poems. So if we talk about C, but they can break these habits, the writers can break these habits if they are wishing to take the onus. So the entire sentence is has been written in active voice, you see, active voice. If they are wishing, if this is active voice. The passive voice could be, if are wishing is what? Is in active voice. So can be broken is passive voice. So but they can break these habits. These habits can be broken is basically a passive voice. So we'll go with the flow, because if you say, we say, if you are running fast, you can win the race. We say like that, right? So in that comparison, the entire sentence after but is a different sentence. Okay. So both of them should be in the same voice. Okay. Clarity is there. So Padma Priya also says the answer is C. But they can break these habits. We are talking about the writers. And here also we are talking about the writers. Both the parts of the sentence. But joins two sentences. Both the parts of the sentence talks about the writers. So it should be, but they can break these habits if they are wishing to take the onus. So I'm sure you have understood the gist of the question. Any comments? Any questions? If you have any questions, please ask me the questions over here. Okay, I'll be moving forward. The next question. I have already told you the questions are difficult today, but I'll try to minimize your pain as much as I can. I'll try to minimize your pain. Okay. Next question. Like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan rebelled against the subtle complexity of human relations in rural society. Like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan rebelled against the subtle complexity. Subtle means what? Very marginal, very small in terms of understanding. Very marginal. If I say these are the subtle complexities of life, it means those very marginal concepts of life which you are not able to understand. Okay. So, like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan rebelled against the subtle complexity of human behavior relations in rural society. So, what's the answer to this question? Tell me. You can see the question. Pavitra says C. Well done, Pavitra. Well done. Pavitra is correct. So, the answer is C. So, I should give some more time to, but we have 15 questions of like this. So, the session cannot exceed 45 minutes or 50 minutes. So, I'd like you to answer as soon as possible. So, Padma Priya says B, Sherin says B, Kanchana Devi says B, but the answer is C. Okay, so you are saying like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan's rebellion was against the subtle complexity of human behavior relations in rural society. Okay, it's a disputable thing. So I'll answer your dispute, I'll clarify your dispute, I'll arbitrate your dispute. The question says like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan, let us focus on the option number B. Okay, very good question, wonderful question. So the question says like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan's rebellion. So is it very stupid to say that like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan's rebellion? So are we not comparing Annadurai and Narayan's rebellion? Are we in B? It's a wrong sentence because like Annadurai, R.K. Narayan's rebellion. So how can we compare Annadurai and rebellion? Can we do that? Can we compare Annadurai and R.K. Narayan's rebellion? We cannot do that, right? But in C as says, as Annadurai, R.K. Narayan rebelled. So as means, as Annadurai did, R.K. Narayan rebelled. So if I have to say, I am as smart as he, that's the correct sentence, right? I am as smart as he is. I am as smart as he is. I am as smart like him. I am smarter like him. So please understand this. I'll tell you, wait. As Annadurai did, it's a conjunction. So after conjunction, subjective case comes. So as Annadurai did, R.K. Narayan rebelled against the subtle complexity of human behavior in rural society. But we cannot put like over here because after like is a preposition. After it comes an objective case. But we are talking about two subjects, Annadurai and R.K. Narayan. So this can be placed after here also. R.K. Narayan rebelled as Annadurai against this way. We can do that, right? So Sherin has said okay. I think everyone else has understood. Okay, let's move ahead. So this was the answer because this is a conjunction we need as, I'll give you one more example. She is as smart as he is, not him. I'm smart like him. This is incorrect. So we should say I'm smart like he is. This way, okay? I'm smart as he is, or I'm as smart as he is. The correct use would be I'm as smart as he is and be a singer like him. Be a singer, be a student like him. Both are objective case. Be a singer like him. You are telling somebody to be a singer like him. But when we say I am as smart as he is. So as Annadurai did, R.K. Narayan rebelled against the complexities of human behavior in rural society. Clear? Okay. Moving ahead to the next question. Well, questions are of various categories today. I have made all these questions, so you'll enjoy the session. So next question is, cancer is much more common among males of India than males of other countries. Cancer is much more common among males of India than males of any countries, of other countries. Tell me. Cancer is much more common among males of India than males of other countries. Okay, anyone would like to answer? E. Oh, Sharon. D. Sharon says D. Wait. Compared to. Okay. Mayuri Kumaravel, very good. Mayuri has given the correct answer. Mayuri, Arvind, Jake, both have given the correct answer. B is the correct answer. B. See, much more. So than must be here, right? So where is than? Than is over here. Than is over here. And than is in the question. Okay. So we say cancer is much more common among males of India than among males of other countries. It's a parallelism concept. Parallelism. You know what is the parallelism concept? So I'll tell you. If we use the comparative degree, is more than, are more than, is less than, are less than, if are fewer than for that matter. So in that case, what happens? We have to see the object which is written before than, which is males of India. Please understand. I am explaining you parallelism. Please focus. So cancer is much more common among, let us forget this for some time, much more common in males of India than in males of other countries. among males of India than among males of other countries. So this word is the actual representative of parallelism. So whatever has been used here must be used over here also. So the answer should be cancer is much more common among males of India than among males of other countries. So this will be the answer. Clear? Okay, Ritika, very good. Arvind has also given the correct answer. So the answer is than among. So cancer is much more common among males of India than among males of other countries. So that is parallelism. So is more than, is less than. So before the this entire thing, whatever comes before this, that should be used there also. Okay. Next, question number 5. Next, question number 5. Researchers at the Indian Institutes of Technology, IITs, have discovered a novel teaching. Okay, what's the meaning of novel? Novel means unique. Unique. Okay. So there's an anecdote or a story, small short story. Somebody went in an IAS interview, and the interviewer asked, "Which company are you working now?" The interviewee said, "I'm working in a novelty company, novelty ice cream company." So the interviewer asked, "What's the meaning of novelty?" But he couldn't answer. So novelty is a word, the meaning of which students don't know. Novelty means uniqueness. Something which is novel is unique. So novelty means uniqueness. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology have discovered a unique teaching pedagogy, a novel teaching pedagogy. Pedagogy means the art and science of teaching. Okay, the one that they believe is a methodology previously unknown to any teacher. This is the question. So Padmapriya says B, Vignesh says D, Shaktivel says D. Okay, let us see. Researchers at the Indian Institutes of Technology have discovered a novel teaching pedagogy that the one that they believe is a methodology previously known to any teacher. Okay, so the answer is, anyone? Padmapriya says D, Vignesh says A. Answer is of question number, answer B, answer is of question number 4. Okay. Fine, Padmapriya. So tell me the answer of this question. B. Okay, see, we are talking, this is that is a relative pronoun. This is a relative pronoun. So it becomes a restrictive clause. Okay. So that talks about the one. That talks about the one. And what is that one? What is this thing, the one? So researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology have discovered a novel teaching pedagogy, the one that they believe, should be comma over here, that they believe, let us forget this for some time. Let us forget this for some time. So the one that is a methodology previously, okay, wait. Okay. So the one that they believe, this is not required. Okay. Now let's read the question. Researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology have discovered a novel teaching pedagogy, the one that is a methodology previously unknown to any teacher. Let's see the options now. That, if we remove this, now let us see the options. The one it to be, the one that it to be. So this is incorrect. It's a great technique of solving the question. So I have removed this they believe from every option. Now see what happens. The one, okay, that it is of. The one that it is of is incorrect. The one that is a methodology previously unknown to any teacher. So we have a fight between the no replacement required and that is. You're getting my point, right? The one that is a methodology, okay, that is the methodology That is, so these two options are very close. Either we have no replacement required or we have that is. So which should we choose? So this is the answer, no replacement required. Because you see over here in option number D, the one that believe that is, the one they believe that is. So this is incorrect. So no replacement requires the correct answer. So I'll rub this part as a okay. Now I'll explain finally to you. Researchers at the Indian Institutes of Technology have discovered a novel teaching methodology, the one that they believe is a methodology. So this particular that is hinting towards the one, and this is not required but is used according to the one. So the one, so this is not required, and when we removed all they believe from every portion, so the answer is no replacement required. We removed that they believe from every portion and we found that only no replacement required suffices the answer. Only this suffices the answer. Clear? Okay. I think you have understood this, I'm sure. So sometimes you have to apply these techniques as well, just like mathematics, we have to apply these techniques. Clear? Okay. Moving ahead. People in India believe that a recently discovered scripture which dates from the 16th century was possibly buried to keep from being stolen by invaders. Answer this question. People in India believe that a recently discovered scripture which dates from the 16th century was possibly buried to keep from being stolen by invaders. So what is the meaning of to keep from? To keep from means staying away from something. Staying away from something is to keep from. So if I say keep from bad boys, it means stay away from bad boys. Stay away from someone is keeping from. Understood? So was possibly buried to keep from being stolen by invaders. Let us see the options. Anyone? Pavitra says B. Yeah, B is the correct answer. Very good. B is the correct answer. Very good. Very good. So to keep it from. So keep it from means to keep this scripture away from. To keep this scripture away from being stolen by invaders. So that's the meaning of. So we don't use keep away from. We use keep from. That is staying away from or keeping away from. So in this way, we have understood that this it has been used for the scripture over here. So keep from is correct and keep it from means the scripture from the invaders. Fine. Sherin says E. In order to keep from. But Sherin, we are missing it over there. We are missing it. We are missing it from here. That's why we cannot use. And in order is very wordy kind of use. So it's a bit better to use to keep, not in order to keep. See, we have to avoid the use of wordy sentences. We have to ensure that we use only simple kind of options, like to keep is good enough. Okay. So the answer would be B, to keep it from being stolen by invaders. Fine. Next question. Among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so despised that it was forbidden on pain of death. Among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so despised that it was forbidden on pain of death. So what's the meaning of pain of death? Means they were frightened from being punished. Even capital punishment was given to the tribes who used to consume alcohol. Okay. So among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so despised that, so you can see over here. What's the answer? Give me the answer. C. Ritika also says C. Was once so despised it had been forbidden. No, the answer is A, no replacement required. Because so is followed by that. You understand this? So is followed by that. Because the sentence says, among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so despised. What's the meaning of despised? Criticized, looked down upon. So, among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so looked upon or so despised that it was forbidden on pain of death. Pain of death means it was forbidden as a punishment. Good morning. Okay. So, it should be so that is the correct option. So that. Fine. So, because we have so and that, that's why the answer is no replacement required. And you've understood the meaning that among the tribes of Jharkhand, alcohol intake was once so criticized that it was forbidden on pain of death. So, I'll move to the next question. Okay, the next question is, although he had signed a pledge of abstinence while being a teenager, John was 30 years old before he chose to become a temperance supporter. Very wonderful Vera level questions. Let us solve these questions. So, this question is a very interesting one, because the question says, although he had signed a pledge of abstinence. Abstinence means being abstemious, avoiding bad things like drinking, smoking, eating non-vegetarian food. So, this is called abstinence. Okay. So, although he had signed a pledge of abstinence, means avoiding the bad things as per the rules of the society. Abstinence while being a teenager. John was 30 years old before he chose to become a temperance supporter. So, you can see, yeah, yes, Sandil Kumar, hi, Shaktivel, E, he says. E. Let me see the maximum options. E and B. Ritika says B. Okay. Okay, fine. Somebody said E. Kavya Rasu and Shaktivel says E. Okay. So, although he had signed a pledge of abstinence as a teenager, wonderful answer. The answer is E actually. John was 30 years old before he chose to become a temperance supporter. So, he had signed a pledge. So, this is not required actually. This thing while being a teenager is not required. We have to reduce the wordiness of the sentence. It's a lot of wordiness that was there while being. What do you mean by while being a teenager? Being teenager is not a continuous action. It's a state. Understand this please. Being a teenager is a state and not a continuous action. So, we use while when we use a continuous action after it. While driving, while cooking, while drinking, while eating. So, we cannot say while being a teenager. So, answer should be as a teenager. So, this is the best answer, and I appreciate Mayuri, I appreciate Kanchana Devi, Kavya Rasu, Shaktivel, Reshmi, Padmapriya, Balamurugan, all have given the correct answer. So, E is the, we have to make it as less wordy as possible. So, this seems to be correct, but it has to be made less wordy. Okay. Next question number 9. Real similar to a Bollywood movie set with nothing behind the building fronts, the nation's apparent newfound richness masks a very disparate reality. Most citizens are not living at all well. Wonderful question and the easiest question today. Seems to be difficult, but it's the easiest question. So, can somebody tell me the answer? It's a very easy question. If solved by concept, becomes the question becomes very easy. Give me the answer. Wow, Kavya, very good. Like everyone is giving the correct answer. I'm really happy. I'm really happy for all of you because you are giving the right answer. So Kavyarasu, Padmapriya, Balamurugan, Kanchana Devi, Pavitra says C. Why Pavitra? D is the correct answer. D, like. I'll tell you why. Why? Pavitra, I'll give you the answer why. If you have given the answer as C, you have all the right to ask a question why C is the correct answer. So I'll tell you what. Like a Bollywood movie set with nothing behind the building fronts, the nation's apparent new richness masks a very... Okay. We are comparing a Bollywood movie set with the newfound richness. So this newfound richness is what? It's in the objective case. Objective case. Object to what? The nation's apparent. Nations is a possessive case noun. So the apparent newfound richness is in the objective case. So like a Bollywood movie. So like is a preposition. So after a preposition, an objective case follows. And similarly, after a possessive case noun, an object follows. Please understand this. I'll make it very clear. After a possessive case noun, an objective case follows. So what's the objective case? Apparent newfound richness. And after a preposition as well, an objective case follows. So what's the preposition? Like. So like a Bollywood movie. So like is the correct answer. Clear? D. Somebody says D. Yeah, D. Everybody has given the correct answer. So finally I'll explain. Like is a preposition. So after like, objective case. Nations is a possessive case noun. So after it, objective case. So in parallel, like should be there. We must have a preposition here. That's why we are keeping preposition. Okay. Answer is like. Next question. Question number 10. We have 15 questions in total. Okay. We have time as well. Ranked as one of the most important of India's storytellers. Very good question. Very good question. Okay. Ranked as one of the most important of India's storytellers, R.K. Narayan has written more than 100 stories. His works, translated into over many languages, are published more often than any contemporary Indian author. I won't give this answer to this question. You have to give the answer. We can neglect all these things. It's not required, not required, not required, not required. We have to see this part only. Are published more often than any contemporary Indian author. So this is important. So focus on this part. Why not E, sir? Okay, there's a battery problem. Wait. Let me just switch it on. So everybody says B. Absolutely wrong. B is not the correct answer. I want the best answer. Tell me, please. So this particular part, the answer is this. This is the correct answer. Okay, I'll tell you what. His works are published more often than those of any contemporary Indian author. I think you have understood this. We are talking about his works. His works are published. We don't need this. His works are published more often than any other, than those of any other, because we are talking about his works. We are talking about his works. So his works are published more often than those of any other contemporary Indian author. So answer should be this. Clear? Yes, Shivani says D is the answer. Yeah, Kanchana Devi says D is the answer. Shivani also says. Padmapriya Murugan also says. Choose it yourself. Tamiz Inayam. Choose it yourself. What is that? Who is Tamiz Inayam? Choose it yourself. I'm not sure. So this is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. His works are published more often than those of any other contemporary Indian author. Those of means the works of any other. Please, you are getting my point, right? His works are published more often than the works of any other contemporary Indian author. So the works will be replaced by those of, demonstrative pronoun. I hope it's clear to you, right? Next question. Demonstrators at the function, one who is visually impaired will illustrate the uses of versatile equipment that allows blind people to use computers. This is the question, so you have to choose the replacement of it. Okay, question number 10 must be explained once more. Okay, let me go back. Please focus. Those who did not understand this question number 10, I am explaining again. Okay. Ranked as one of the most important of India's storytellers, not required. R.K. Narayan has written more than 100 stories, not required. R.K. Narayan's works not required are published more often than the works of R.K. Narayan's his works are published more than the works of any other contemporary Indian author. So the works should be replaced by those of any other Is it clear? Kavyarasu, is it clear? Here I am writing than the works of any other contemporary Indian author. So option number D is perfect option. Those of any other. Is it clear? Kavyarasu, please answer. Ritika, Monica Ganeshan, everybody is convinced with D, I guess. Okay, understood. Thank you, Kavyarasu. Next question. So everybody said B is the answer. Shaktivel said E is the answer. So demonstrators are the function one who is visually impaired. See, the function cannot be visually impaired. Who is what? Who is a relative pronoun? So the antecedent which comes earlier to this, that decides the verb. So over here we have to use the answers. Somebody said E. Shaktivel, Monica Ganeshan gave the answer as E. Wonderful, wonderful. E is the correct answer. I'll tell you why. Demonstrators at the function 1 So I am replacing this part with one of which is visually impaired. So which is used for non-living things. That's what you have understood, right? But which is also used for people when we make a selection out of a group of. For example, which is your friend in the crowd? Which is your mother in the crowd? That's a correct use. We don't say who is your mother in the crowd. We say which is your brother in the crowd? Which is your mother in the crowd? So this way we can use which over here to represent the blind person. So which was blind. So demonstrators at the function one of which is visually impaired. Visually impaired means blind. Okay. Will illustrate the uses of versatile equipment that allows blind people to use computers. So the answer will be one of which. Which can be used for people as well, but to make selection, but to make appointment, but to make election of something, we can use which. Clear? Non-living. Okay, Shakti says non-living things. Not only non-living things, but we can say which is your friend in the, which is your sister in the crowd. Which of the, which is your mother in the crowd. We can say that. Even if they are living things, then we can, but only if we talk about selection or selecting from a group of, a sample from a group of population. Understood that? B is also right, somebody says. No, 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 no. One of them who. Simple to understand. If we write demonstrated that the function one of them is visually impaired, it doesn't make a sense, because if I say one of them will illustrate, if we write one of them, wait. Somebody says, what's wrong with option B? B is a sign of person. Okay, wait. Demonstrated that the function B, one of them who is visually impaired. I'll tell you why. You are using who, correct? Of is a preposition, fine, I understand. So if you use who over here, demonstrates the function one of whom, one of them who is visually impaired will. It's a good question. It's a good question. So question number 11. So before I answer the question, I like to say I'll come back to this question after solving the remaining 4 questions. Then I explain you in free time. The answer is one of which. I'll explain you after 5 minutes. But let me come back to the next question. Come to the next question. I'm explaining you. Don't worry. I'll explain you. B is not the answer. I'll explain you why. Wait, guys, wait. I'll explain, Sherin. I'll explain. Shaktivel, Sherin, what's wrong with option B? Mayuriki says option B is also right. I am giving you the answer. Give me 2 minutes. Let me complete these questions. 4 questions are left. 12, 13, 14, 15. Then I'll come back to question number 11. Okay? Trust me, I won't run away. Trust me. Okay. Plausible though it seems, the weakness of the premise is that it does not corroborate the relevant facts. Plausible though it seems, the weakness of the premise is that it does not corroborate the relevant facts. What's the answer to this question? I'm going to answer 11 number question. Don't worry. First answer this question. Plausible though it seems, the weakness of the premise Sir. Okay, these 2 options are wrong. I have marked C and E as wrong options. Okay, C and E are wrong options. So we are left with no replacement required. B and D. Even though it seems plausible, the weakness of the premise is that it does not corroborate the relevant facts. Or though the premise seems plausible, yet its weakness is that it does not. So either we can use though yet or we can use even though. Which will be the correct answer? Tell me, B or D? Ritika says D, rest of the people say B. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me come this side. So the question is, plausible though it seems. So what we are doing is, we are using it earlier only. That's not the correct use actually. Because if we know about something, then we use the pronoun for that thing later in the sentence. If we already make a mention of that particular thing, then only can we use the pronoun later on. So what happens in D, it talks about the premise earlier. It talks about the premise earlier, then it has used its over here. So this is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. I'm sure you are getting what I'm saying. First you make the mention of the noun, then later on you make the use of the pronoun. First you mention the noun, then you make the use of a pronoun later on. So, though the premise seems plausible and yet also shows that we have a pair of though and yet, that is also correct. Though yet is a correct pair. Then we have mentioned the use of the premise earlier, then we have used its over here. So, though the premise seems plausible, yet its weakness is that it does not corroborate the relevant facts. And what happens in B? Even though it seems plausible, we cannot use the pronoun earlier. Am I right or wrong? I'm sure you have got my point, right? Very good, Sherin, very good. It's clear to you, I guess. Next question. Chanakya's principles reveal that children can adapt to their environment long before the recognition that a little water poured from a small glass into another one takes the shape of it. Very interesting question. Okay, the question says, Chanakya's principles revealed that children can adapt to their environment. Chanakya's principles reveal that children can adapt to their environment long before the recognition that a little water poured from a small glass into another one takes the shape of it. So what's your answer to this question? Tell me fast, I'm waiting for your answer. Okay, now I'll tell you the answer because we cannot afford to take so much time. So Chanakya's principles reveal that children can adapt to their environment long before the recognition that so what is being recognized? What is being recognized? So this particular thing, let this be X. Something happens, okay. So Chanakya's principles reveal that children can adapt to their environment long before the recognition that X happens. Okay, now let us see the options. Chanakya's principles reveal that children can adapt to their environment long before they can recognize that X happens. So, that children can adapt to their environment long before that a little water happens. So, you can understand after that a subject is there, children is there. So, after it should be they only, because it's parallelism, right? Children and they. Are you getting my point? I'll rub it and tell you again. Wait. Chanakya's principles revealed that X, recognition that Y. Please understand this, X and Y. So, Chanakya's principles revealed, CPR, that X, long before the recognition that Y. So, before that first case, it was children. After that, it was children. So, after this, they should come. Are you getting my point? Am I right or wrong? Tell me. I think you have got my point, right? So after that children is there. So after that what should come is they can recognize that. Fine. So long before they can recognize that. So before this that Children is there, so they can recognize that little water poured from. This is the parallel structure we have. Any doubt, anyone? Chanakya's principle revealed that children, long before they recognize that. So these two parallel things go together. Clear? Monica Ganeshan, Padmapriya Balamurugan, Kavya Rasu, C, they say. Sendil says yes. Yes, he has understood. So they can recognize that little water poured from. So both should be in parallel. Children can adapt and they can realize. Parallel to each other. And what's the connector? They can recognize that. That's the connector basically. Fine. Children can adapt and they can recognize. Both are parallel active voices. Okay. I'm sure I've not skipped any question. Okay, yeah. We have to solve 11 number as well. 11 number. Okay. The police didn't leave him early on bail because they believed that to do it rewards him for committing crimes. Interesting question, right? So the police didn't leave him early on bail because they believed that to do it rewards him for committing crimes. So this question is of wordiness. Wordiness means redundant uses of words. So the best option, you know which is the best option. You can answer just now. Very easily you can answer. The police didn't leave him early because they believed that all are so close options. You will kill me, I know. If I say this is the answer, you're going to kill me. I'm sure you're going to say you're going to kill me. I'm sure you will say, sir, we won't leave you so easily. So all the options are so very close. You see the options. To do this would reward. Doing so would reward. To do this, it would reward. So what's the correct answer to it? Please tell me. D somebody says. Ritika says B. Monica Ganeshan says C. Everybody is giving different answer. So the answer is D. D is the correct answer. You are right. Who said D is the answer? Sherin said. Dharani Anu said. D is the, Mayuri said D, answered D. So D is the correct answer. I'll tell you why. See. The police didn't leave him early on bail because they believed that doing it is not a relevant pronoun over here. Similarly, this can also be not a relevant pronoun here. This is used when we talk about the direct speech, but this is in the past tense. We cannot say he didn't tell me this, he didn't tell me that. That's the most of the cases we use. Okay, so the police didn't leave him early on bail because they believed that to do it. We cannot say to do this rewards. We can say to do it. So the best use would be doing so would. Doing so means the action, the event we are talking about. The police didn't leave him early bail because they believe that doing so represents what? Leaving him on bail. Doing so represents leaving him on bail. So doing so would reward him for committing crime. So this is the best answer. To do this is absolutely incorrect. This is doing it rewards is present tense rewards. Would reward is the best option. So rewards is present tense. Would reward is again past tense. To do it would reward is not relevant to the context. So doing so would. Doing so means the action. Releasing him on bail. Clear? So D is the correct answer. Okay students, we are running short of time. So let's move to the next question. Manoj Muntashir, the famous lyricist, has credited rural anecdotes with having had a strong influence on his work. So we'll not solve this question because we have told you we'll solve the 11 number question. Because we are running late, we have a next class at 12:30. So anyone who will give the fast answer to this question? So we have 5 minutes left, right sir? 5 minutes left. Okay. Okay students, so answer this question, 15 number question. Manoj Muntashir, the famous lyricist, has credited rural anecdotes with having had a strong influence on his work. See, rural anecdotes is plural entity. So this cannot be the answer for its having. To have had is incorrect answer. We cannot use the perfect infinitive over here. I'll tell you what in the next class maybe we will discuss. I'll bring this question in the next class. Manoj Muntashir, the famous lyricist, has created rural anecdotes to have had. For having is a better answer. In that this is incorrect answer. So what's the question? Manoj Muntashir, the famous lyricist, has created rural anecdotes for having strong influence. So this is the answer. D number. D. Perfect student. D is the correct answer. So let's move to the question number 11. We have 4 minutes left. Question number 11. Okay. Demonstrators at the function, one of which is visually final answer. Demonstrator may be a person, but it's a common gender noun. So for common genders, many a times we can use which. Which can be used for common gender nouns. So we are talking about demonstrators. Demonstrators we are talking about. So for demonstrators, we can use which. And I've given you one more example in which I had told you, which is your brother in the crowd. So this is first justified, but why not B? Why not B? That's the question. One of them who is visually impaired. So, okay. So, do we say like this? One good example. I like some of them. God helps them who help themselves. It's a saying from Bible, right? God helps them who help themselves. This is not the correct use. What we say is God helps those who help themselves. So we don't use relative pronouns who or a subjective case relative pronoun. Who is a subjective case relative pronoun? Who. So before it, generally we talk about pronouns which are of the which case. I'll give you one more example. We cannot use them for antecedent. If we write antecedent as them, you do some homework from your end. Who is a relative pronoun which takes a subjective case, represents a subjective case. So one of them who is visually impaired. So I'll give you a homework to this. 100% this is the answer, one of which, because you're talking about demonstrators and which can be used for selection. So here it's a homework for you. Please write in the comment box and I'll give you the answer. Sorry, a bit late, but I've given the correct answer to my extent. Thanks a lot for joining us. Join in the evening, 7 o'clock for the Hindu editorial discussion. Today we have common errors in the paragraph. Thank you so much.